Superman fans, to your speeding bulletin for the week January 18th to January 24th, 2013. A week which saw Man of Steel get an MPAA rating, rumours of a female Jimmy Olsen, and a preview clip for DC Nation's Farm League. Let's take a look. In movie news, the Motion Picture Association of America has given Zack Snyder's Man of Steel film a PG-13 rating for intense sequences of sci-fi violence, action and destruction, and for some language. For fans in other parts of the world, this PG-13 rating will probably equate to a 12A rating in the UK and an M rating in Australia. Speaking of other countries, the official website has updated its page on the worldwide release dates of the film to include links to country-specific websites for each country. A rumour did the rounds this week suggesting that Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen will actually be Jenny Olsen in the upcoming Man of Steel movie. IMDb lists actress Rebecca Buller as playing a character by the name of Jenny Olsen. Miss Buller appears to be the woman Perry White is dragging with him as they escape the debris of a falling building, as seen in the Man of Steel trailer. But whether her character is indeed Jenny Olsen and a gender-altered version of Jimmy is as yet unknown. Stay tuned. Jim Bowers, owner of CapedWonder.com, revealed this week that there is going to be a cameo by a classic Superman movie actor in Man of Steel. While Jim would not reveal their identity, he added, "What do I mean by classic? I mean that the actor could be anyone, alive or dead, who appeared in any, not all, of the Superman movies from 1948 to 1987 and 2006's Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. Who do you think it will be?" Details emerging from this week's London Toy Fair have revealed that another Kryptonian villain may be appearing in the Man of Steel movie alongside Zod and Faora. One of the 3 Superman Lego playsets set to be released around May or June reveals the name of another Kryptonian. I won't spoil it here, so head to the Superman homepage if you want to find out who it is. The French ToysMag.com website posted images from Mattel's upcoming toy line for Man of Steel. The images were quickly removed from this site as Mattel had specifically asked for these images not to be posted online yet. However, we can reveal that amongst the figures shown was one depicting General Zod with his own Kryptonian symbol across his black uniform chest. Hans Zimmer spoke briefly about the theme for Man of Steel during an interview conducted at the 2012 Festival Musique at Cinema in Paris. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. But anyway, it was conducted last year in October, and he revealed he has a long theme in store for Man of Steel.
No, I think you do what is appropriate, what you think is appropriate to the movie. So that's why, Man of Steel, I'm going to try to do something different. I have a very long theme.
WonderCon Anaheim 2013 will be the location for the world premiere of the upcoming new animated movie Superman Unbound. No exact date for the premiere has been announced as yet, but WonderCon Anaheim 2013 will take place across March 29th to 31st at the Anaheim Convention Center. In TV news, Superman homepage writer Isaac Frisby has updated our Young Justice animated series episode guide with a summary of the most recent Season 2 episode, True Colors. Isaac has also written his review of this episode, saying, "We are finally getting somewhere now that we know what the Reach are doing," and he gave it a 5 out of 5 score. Warner Home Video released Young Justice Invasion Destiny Calling Season 2 Part 1 on DVD this week. This 2-disc set includes the first 10 episodes of the second season of the animated series. Check out my review on the website now, and grab your Young Justice Invasion Destiny Calling Season 2 Part 1 DVD from our online store. Cartoon Network and DC Entertainment have released the episode description, 5 images and 2 preview clips for Fix, the upcoming new episode of the Young Justice Invasion animated series. In this episode, Black Manta seeks vengeance against Miss Martian. Fix airs on Saturday, January 26 at 10:30 AM on Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network and DC Entertainment have released 2 images and a preview clip for the upcoming first episode of the Farm League animated short. Farm League is a hilarious take on the Justice League where animal versions of the classic DC heroes show off their wild sides while facing trouble on the farm. Farm League airs on Saturday, January 26 between 10 AM and 11 AM on Cartoon Network as part of the DC Nation block. In comic book news, DC Comics has revealed that their 2013 Gold Edition title for Free Comic Book Day will be a spotlight on Superman. Along with reprinted material from 2006's The Last Son of Krypton saga, it will also feature a special sneak peek preview of the new monthly series starring the Man of Steel by the all-star team of Scott Snyder and Jim Lee. Free Comic Book Day will be held on May 4th. Comic books we reviewed this week included Superboy number 16, which was reviewed by Adam DeChannel, who gave it a 3 out of 5, calling it fast-paced and engaging. Mark Pritchard reviewed Injustice Gods Among Us Chapter 1, giving it a 5 out of 5, saying game on. While Mark also reviewed Smallville Season 11 Chapter 30, calling it kind of an average outing, and he gave it a 3 out of 5 rating. Superman comics available this week from January 23rd include Injustice Gods Among Us number 2, digital comic, has been available since January 22nd. Justice League number 16, which is available in a variant cover, a digital combo pack, a black and white variant cover, and a blank variant cover. Superboy Annual number 1, Supergirl number 16, Young Justice number 24, Smallville Season 11 Chapter 31 digital comic is available January 25th, and Superman Beyond number 14 digital comic is available January 26th.
Get creative with these fun arts and crafts Superman items. Grab this Superman papercraft figure for just $8.50, or how about this cute looking Funko papercraft Superman figure for $10.98. These and other great arts and crafts Superman items are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop.
In other news, there have been quite a number of attempts by various people to create charts, images and graphics showing the changes to Superman's S-Shield over the years. I felt it was time the Superman homepage stepped in to create our own detailed chart, truly showing how Superman's S-Shield has evolved over the past 75 years, using Superman's regular comic books, original graphic novels, Elseworlds and other publications, as well as cartoons, TV shows, animated movies, films and more. The result is an enormous chart showing over 140 different S-Shields spanning 75 years. You can download it from the website now in various sizes and formats. NetherRealm Studios released a new trailer for the upcoming video game Injustice Gods Among Us, which reveals Lex Luthor in his battle armour. Set in a world where the lines between good and evil are blurred, players will experience heroes and villains engaging in epic battle on a massive scale. Pre-order the Injustice Gods Among Us video game for its April 2013 release for either the PS3, Xbox 360 or Nintendo Wii U from our online store. Warner Bros. Animation and Hanna-Barbera are offering graduating high school students and incoming college freshmen a chance to win an animation scholarship. Through the Warner Bros. Reach program, one outstanding student is awarded the Hanna-Barbera Animation Honorship each year. Download the PDF application form at our website now. On DeviantArt, artist Imbong Hadesbrotto, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, has created a fan art chart showcasing the various costumes Superman has worn over the years in the comics. Using his Man of Steel image from the chart, he also created an impressive visual showing Superman hovering over a street in Metropolis while a cavalcade of characters look on from the street below him. That's all the Superman news there was for the week January 18th to January 24th. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone and welcome to another Golly Gee edition of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So, the newest rumor surrounding the Man of Steel movie that we're all waiting for coming out this June is that Jimmy Olsen may or may not be in the movie at all, which we knew already, but now maybe Jenny Olsen. In other words, our favorite gee whiz, Superman's pal, best friend to Clark Kent, Jimmy Olsen, may be a woman. Now, what does that mean if that is the case? Well, a lot of people are speculating that that means there's no way he can be, the character can be the same because he's different. Right? What I mean by that is, how can he be Superman's best pal? How can he be Clark Kent's roommate or Clark Kent's friend? Or when it's a girl, without there being some sort of romantic meaning or sexual tension or chemistry or not chemistry in that manner. And I guess I got to agree with that. I mean, if Jimmy Olsen, aka Jenny Olsen in Man of Steel, is to be the Jimmy Olsen character, it'll obviously be incredibly different if it's a woman, and that seems to be the big rumor. And of course, just like when Lawrence Fishburne was announced as Perry White, which I still didn't see the need for. Not to say that there shouldn't be diversity, not to say that we shouldn't have a widening range of characters, both female and male, and of all races. What I typically don't agree with is changing one character that we all already know and that we're all already expecting to see and having it be something else, especially if it's simply just for the sake of having it be something else and that it's not really enhancing that character or that story or meaningful in any other way. I do, however, think that if the only Olsen character that we get in this Man of Steel movie, if this rumor turns out to be at all true, does happen to be a female Jimmy Olsen, but called Jenny Olsen, that it will bring kind of an interesting dynamic to the character and to the movie. Although, and many fans have already said this upon hearing that this might be a possibility, and that is that Jimmy Olsen, especially in film, has only kind of been a peripheral character. He's kind of just been there just because he's always been there and people expect him to be there. Sometimes he's bow-tied and red-haired with freckles, and other times he just has dark hair and he's kind of a goofy guy or whatever. But he's there. He's kind of in the background. He's the Daily Planet photographer / wannabe reporter guy. In some versions, he's very, very young and hasn't yet had the opportunity to be a reporter, but he takes good pictures, or he's got talent in other areas of photography that make him needed around the Daily Planet. And then eventually, we all know that he might become this great reporter on his own someday, using photographs to tell his stories, but also reporting stories the same way Lois and Clark do. So a lot of fans, just like when any aspect of the mythology is changed, the whole reboot of the 52 of the DC universe got everybody nuts because things are different than what they knew them to be 3 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 50 years ago. As things always change, as things always develop, as things always become something else while still being somewhat the same. In my mind, Lois Lane is not a bad speller who smokes like crazy, but that's what Margot Kidder was in the 70s Donner films, and that's what a lot of people associate as being Lois Lane. So when Smallville did it, and when Smallville had their Lois Lane be a drinker and kind of I don't know if she smoked. I don't think she smoked in the show, but the whole idea was that I think they were trying to, and she had a lot of the spelling issues. They were trying to invoke the Lois Lane from the Donner films, because a lot of what Smallville did was try to pretend it was in the same universe while being incredibly different, but still having a lot of connections. And I think that to each person, they have their own thing. Now, it seems to me that a lot of Superman fans really take heavy umbrage with anyone that says that the Donner film wasn't the highlight of superhero films and wasn't the best Superman film, and that Christopher Reeve wasn't the best Superman and all that. But then to others, I'm sure that was a change from their man. That was a change from George Reeves, and George Reeves was a change from Kirk Allen. Everybody has their own things. So I guess, trying to look at this positively, because when I first read it, my first reaction was dubiousness. How dare you? How dare you change Jimmy Olsen into a woman? And for those of you who haven't heard about it, apparently it appears to be the woman that is running away from the falling buildings in Metropolis in the trailer. She's running alongside Lawrence Fishburne, who is Perry White, and she is supposedly the woman who is listed on IMDb as Jenny Olsen, which, to alleviate some of your fears, I believe IMDb is not always completely accurate this early in the process before a film is released, and B, Jenny Olsen could be any type of relative to Jimmy. Could be a sister, could be an aunt, it could be a niece, could be anything, a cousin that happens to be around, especially since this is the early days of Clark getting to the planet. You know, Jimmy, if he's going to be the young Jimmy that we often see, might not even be working there yet. He could be 12, you know, and in the sequel or in the next movie, he's a budding photojournalist. Or not. This could be the version of the Olsen that we're going with. This could be, a lot of people are saying this is the Nolan, like Robin, like what's his name, Levitt was the Robin of the Dark Knight trilogy. And if I'm giving anything away to you, there was a movie that came out back in June or July of 2011 where yes, Robin showed up in the big spoiler warning. Oh, I'm sorry, I came too late. I apologize. That this is the version of that, because Nolan doesn't really want to be connected to comic books. He wants to make good movies, not comic book movies. Well, I hope that that's not the case, and I will say that Nolan is not the director of this. He's also not the main writer. He has story credit, which means he might have given an idea here or there. And, you know, a lot of people want to say he's the Godfather, he's involved, he's the one that's telling them what to do. I think it's, you know, he has said it himself, that it's Zack Snyder's baby, and that Snyder's been involved and in charge, and that he's the one who's making the decisions. And if this does turn out to be the only quote-unquote Jimmy Olsen that we see in this franchise, I don't necessarily think that that will be the downfall of civilization as we know it. I think that it could bring an interesting dynamic. Would I rather see Jimmy Olsen as Jimmy Olsen that we know or that we would expect to know? I think probably I would, but what does that mean? I think that every Jimmy Olsen has been different in every incarnation that we've seen. Sometimes, as in the Smallville, he's this cool, suave guy who can kind of get things done and beat people up and handle himself, and then he turns out not to be Jimmy, and he has a brother whose name is also Jimmy, and it's just weird. But you know, and sometimes he's this golly gee, Mr. Kent guy who's 35 years old and still talks that way and hasn't really moved up and wears bow ties. And other times he's this really kind of oddly proportioned red-headed cartoon character in the animated series who has a weird voice. And so we don't know, is what I'm saying. I don't think that there is a specific way that any of these characters have to be when they are these outside kind of peripheral, important to the mythos but not integral, I don't think. I don't know, I'm going on, it's 9 minutes now. Thanks everybody for watching, and remember, Jenny or Jimmy, always look up in the sky.